And beginning. Thank you, everybody, for joining. This is our first session in the 2026 Roadmap webinar series. We got an aggressive schedule planned ahead for 2026, both for the webinars and for the roadmap plan. So the relative date index, a little administrative information before we get into the relative date index. Let's see, where did this come from? We have a variety of methods here at Ex Libris and product management in general, software development in general. How are new developments getting into the software? There's a variety of sources there. We won't do a lesson here on software development, but one of the main sources is the Ideas Exchange. That's ideas.exlibrisgroup.com. So this is a recent suggestion which has 175 votes, which, looking at the various requests that come in or ideas that come in, 175 is a significantly high number. There may have been higher in the past, but definitely one of the higher ones. So as it states here, give customers the ability to query Alma using relative dates. So when we say a relative date, we mean instead of saying everything, in fact, I just had one of these this morning. Instead of saying all bibliographic records added to the repository since January 19th, whatever, we say in the last 7 days, and then it will always get updated automatically. But let's not get too into the technicalities of it because we're going to get there in a moment. We'll continue with the administrative data. So as we stated, this is the first session of the 2026 Roadmap webinar series, the new relative date index on this page, which I'm going to send out now in the chat just in case anybody doesn't already have it, although we know that the majority of you registered from this page, so therefore you do have it. So on this page, you can access the accompanying resources, which is this PowerPoint here, and in this case, which we're not going to be showing too much, but you can access it there. And a blog, which also will be showing today, showing an example of using the relative date index. And after the session, we will also have here in the last column a link to the recording. The upcoming sessions next month, February 10th, we have customized repository search bibliographic indexes. That one has all of these ideas exchanges. Talking again about the Ideas Exchange, all of these Ideas Exchanges discuss the need for customizing an index in one way or another. So that's also a popular one. Again in February, we've got 2 sessions in February. February 18th, AI-based tools in Primo V NDE. The Primo Research Assistant will be showing, it's already existed for a while, but we'll also be showing the new natural language search, the Ask Anything. Both of these are AI tools in Primo V, so you don't want to miss that one. And again, we've got the resources here, and you can also register. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but you can look here at all of the upcoming sessions and already register for them. So you can also register for sessions and view the recordings here on the Ex Libris webinars page. That's Webinars Learning and Learning Archive. It's got different titles depending on how you enter. That's the official webinars page. Here, for example, you can do searches. For example, if I was to say everything with relative in it, like we're doing now. So there we've got the new relative date index in Alma. You can click there and register, view the recording, etc., etc. It will say on demand after it is passed, and you can click on demand and view the recording. So that's the webinars page, and I know everyone's got the link to that, but just in case for whatever reason you don't already have it, I'll send that out as well. So now you've got that also. And then, of course, there's the Ex Libris YouTube channel. That's youtube.com user Ex Libris Limited. You could also do a pretty basic search to find the Ex Libris YouTube channel. And there also, I will send that one out also in the chat, just in case for whatever reason you don't have it. And here you can also do all kinds of searches. Everything we're doing now will go into a 2026 roadmap webinar series, but you can see here the previous ones, Primo V, NDE Experience, all of the ones we've done previously. If I go into the playlist tab here, you can get here the Alma 2025 Roadmap Webinar Series, just as an example. And here on the right, you can see all of the different sessions we had for the 2025 Roadmap Webinar Series. And without further ado, let's jump into what we're doing here. So we're going to start by looking at the release notes, just to see what's going on. The relative date index originally started being developed in 2025. I'm in now the 2025 release notes, and if I come here and I search for relative dates, I'll even say relative D. So it started with support for users, and we're going to see an example of that. That too was an ideas exchange. So the ideas exchange is very important, by the way. If you have ideas, put them in the ideas exchange. So we started in May with the ability to search users. We're going to start with an example of that shortly, where you can search by users for example, by expiration date, by last activity date, purge date, creation date, etc. And then make a set, which is a logical set. And we're going to see what do we mean by a logical set. Then later in November, we did it for the repository search for physical items, for example, and it's also in all of the titles we're going to see. So, and that's what it says here. So search for titles and inventory. Again, ideas exchange. Then in February 2026, which is coming out next month, we're continuing. So for that, I've got a screen capture because the 2026 release notes are not officially out yet. So that's the relative date search operators for the order line search. And I happen to have a February release, even though it hasn't yet come out. Sunday, by the way, Sunday the 18th, you will which is in a few days, you will have the February release on your sandbox. So there we have it for the purchase order line search. So those are the three ways. Let's consider it that we're already February release. Those are the three different types of relative date searches. And that includes the users, the titles and inventory, and the purchase order lines. So let's come in and let's see an example here. So here I am in Alma. I'm in a regular January release right now. Nothing out of the ordinary. And I can come in here, for example, and choose users. And I can say users, for example, create date. And this is the relative date index. So I can say, for example, users which were created is within the last, let's say, is within the last 7 days. So these are users created in the past week. We've got one here in Hebrew, then we've got the Queen of Poland, and we've got Marie Curie. So let's say, for example, just to put a use case here, I'm going to say users created in the last 14 days. And I'm going to save this as a query or save this as a set. We're looking now at a use case. When would something like this be useful? Because until now, the only way you could do in the last X days is to make an analytics report. So I'm going to say save query. This is just one of many use cases. We're going to see a very nice use case soon, the collection that we see in Primo. And I'm going to call this users created in the last 14 days, and I will say dash Apex session. Just in case I don't delete this later, we've got a session later with the EU Americas region, so we'll want to differentiate. So now I've got a set like that. This, because it's a logical set, will automatically get created, will automatically get updated as new records are added or deleted. That means, for example, if all of a sudden someone comes along and adds a new user, either manually, via anything else. So let's say I have here now Jimmy Jones Smith. Jimmy Jones Smith, and Jimmy Jones Smith will be a graduate student, and we'll just give him very, very basic information here. Just enough to create a new user. And let's give him an email, save, and call it a day. Okay. Primary identifier is mandatory. I didn't give him a primary identifier. Okay. Already exists. Okay. Beautiful. Now, if we go to our set, admin, manage sets. Here's the users created in the last 14 days content. Jimmy Jones Smith is automatically added. The reason he is automatically added is because he meets the criteria. That's a differentiation between a logical set and a non-logical set, or a itemized set. Itemized set is the official word. An itemized set is a fixed group of entities. A logical set, same if I were to remove one of these, of course, he would no longer be in the set as well. I can't change the creation date, so that wouldn't be an option. So it automatically gets updated. Now, before we start looking at the titles and inventory and the purchase order line options, what would be a possible use case here? So let's say the institution wants to regularly update users. Any new user, they want to automatically get a certain block and send a letter to them, or who knows what. Now, I know there are other ways to have default values inside a user record. I'm not talking about that, and perhaps what I'm going to show you could do in a different way. It's simply one example. And once we see the job, you'll see that there's a myriad of examples. But let's say for every user that's added, I'm going to take this Queen of Poland. And let's say I want for every new user to add a block like this. I'm going to remove this person's block. A block which is no loans or renews or holds allowed. User needs to come to the library and participate in mandatory library training sessions on using the library. So I want all of my new users to automatically get this block here without me needing to add the block. Again, perhaps I could make this a default somewhere else. Our point is that we want to have this get automatically added as a job. And I'm showing now, at least these first three, I'm going through all of them, that they don't have the block now. So what I'll be doing with the job and with this set will be occurring via the job. So here we go. I have a set of users. They're all created in the last 14 days. Let's even say I do it every day. What I'm doing now, I could do every day. And I want automatically to have a job run and do something to these users. And my example is going to be, it's going to automatically add the block. That the block says you're not allowed to do anything until you come to the library for mandatory training. So if we come here to admin monitor jobs, run a job. Let's run a job on the users, update notify users, which will work on that logical set that we just made. This is the logical set we just made of users created in the last 14 days. And let's say here, add block type. So I'm going to add a block of this one here. No loans or renews allowed. This is a block I have for other things that I do here in this library, that the user is blocked, and then when they come and they do their mandatory training, then we unblock them. Next. Okay, is that what I want to do? I'm doing it run now right now as a test just to see how does it work. Submit. So now we've run once manually just to see how that job works. Let's do a refresh, and it's already completed. So now if I go to that logical set, manage users, manage sets. And here's the set, content. Let's take a look at what's happening now. Now, if we go in here, we see now that there is a block. It was created now, 7:16. That's the time on this server. This library is in Amsterdam, which is an hour behind me, so it's 7:16. So it was automatically added, and if I come here to the information icon, I can see it was last updated by the user information job today. And you can see exactly what happened here. So I'm going to remove this now because we're going to do something else. So it was added to one user. We only have 4 users here. It'll take a second to make sure they were all added. Everyone in this got it. And everybody in this set is now getting them out into here. Then we're going to see how we can do this automatically. I don't need to do the last user because the last user is a contact. He's a contact added via a vendor and therefore doesn't have the blocks. Okay, now we already know that my logical set of type users is being updated automatically because it's a logical set. We saw that when I added Jimmy Jones Smith, he was automatically added to the set. So now that job, I just need to make that job run automatically. Then we have a set getting automatically updated and a job automatically running. And we know the job works because we just tested it on 4 users. So what we could do is say admin, run a job, come to that same job. I'm going to filter here by jobs of type users, run the job, choose that set, run it in the same way, which is going to be add a block of that one. It's checked. Next. And now, instead of saying run now, I can say, let's run that every day or every week. Running it weekly, it might be more appropriate to make all users added in the last 7 days instead of 14 days, but that's irrelevant for our purposes here. You can decide on your own. So now I can say I want to run this every Saturday morning at 7 a.m. Every Saturday morning at 7 a.m., that logical set, which we're using the relative date for, all of the contents of it will get updated via this job, and I can even send an email to whoever I want that it's been running. So I'm scheduling it now weekly, every Saturday, 7 o'clock, submit, telling me it's getting scheduled, etc. Now that job is scheduled to run. I don't need to do anything scheduling the set. The set automatically gets updated. And all of the jobs which I have running automatically, I can see under admin, monitor jobs, and then there's a tab here, scheduled manual jobs. We added that tomorrow. We added that about 6 months ago, right? The option there, was it a year already? Within the last year, we added that option to be able to schedule the jobs, or orchestrate is the official word. It's job orchestration, like a conductor, because sometimes you want one thing to happen before the next one, so you got that input file. In any case, so now this is scheduled to run every Saturday at 7 a.m., and the next time it's going to run is January 17th, which is this coming Saturday. Okay, and I'm just going to remove that now so I won't have it running. Before we move on to the next 2 topics, I'm going to stop for a moment and just see if there's any questions or comments. We have with us, by the way, I forgot to mention, Tamar Fuches is with us from Product Management. Tamar, thank you for taking time again out of your very busy schedule. If there are questions about the development of this or future developments, Tamar is here to answer us. And Tamar will also be monitoring the chat. Let's take a look at the chat and see if we got anything interesting there so far. Here's the chat, and I don't see anything from the chat. Okay. Just I want to make sure everyone's still with us. When I don't see anything in the chat and I don't get any comments, I like to make sure that it's not because there's no communication and no one hears me. So just someone answer and say, yes, Yoel, we still see you, we still hear you, and then we will continue. Okay, thank you. People are telling us they're still here. I will share again, and let's continue. So now we're going to go to the February 2026 release. That's something you don't yet have. Then we're going to go to something much larger, which is a title search and making it available in Primo. All right, so let's go to a February release. So now I'm here in a February release. Let's confirm that. I'm clicking the question mark on the top. I'm in March even. March. I'm like a time traveler. So it's like Back to the Future. So here we can search also the order lines, and there's a lot of nice use cases for the order lines. Let's take a look here. So I'm going to say advanced search order lines. So if I put in here date, so creation date, renewal date, and sent date. So for all of these, I can get all orders, for example, created within the last 7 days. Just as an example. And then it's looking at those orders, and like we saw with the users, an order that gets created now will automatically get added there. And let's make that a little larger. Let's say in the last 21 days. There might not be any orders. It's not that it's not working. Then, and I know, for example, we do have in the last 365 days, because that I checked earlier. So now if an order which was created 365 days ago was deleted, it would no longer be here. And if an order is created now, it would immediately get added here. So now I have all orders created in the last 365 days. And again, I can do all kinds of interesting things with this. Let's say, for example, instead of orders created, maybe I want orders with a sent date is within the last 365 days. By the way, we're going to see in another scenario that you can also use future dates, like physical item expected arrival date is within the next 7 days. So let's say here, now I have all orders which were sent within the last 365 days. I can also say sent is greater than the last 365 days. So these were sent within the last 365 days. For example, that's a fund. Sent date, December 8th. I have my month in the middle here. You do too. This is an EU session, primarily. I mean, an APAC session. So that was sent in the last 365 days. But let's say something interesting. Now we're on to a use case. I want all orders older than days. So this was sent greater than 365 days ago. All of these orders were sent more than 365 days ago. Now, orders sent more than 365 days ago, I would expect to have either completed, or if they are serials, maybe they'll be waiting for renewal, etc. So let's see automatically now what could possibly be problematic in my workflows. I'm going to say the sent date is greater than 365 days ago, and the workflow is sent. So now I've got everything which was sent 365 days ago and is still in status sent. So that's already alerting me, maybe there's an issue here, because if it was sent more than 365 days ago and it's still in status sent, that might not be so good. But I could make that even more specific and say, I want all of those sent more than 365 days ago, and workflow is sent, and Let's say I also want to say the purchase order line type is physical one time or print book one time. So I need to add a or within here, a nested, what's that called? A nested query, I believe. So for that, we're going to add a group. This is not part of a 2026 development. I'm just showing this because it's a very nice feature, which was maybe a year ago, 2 years ago. I'm going to say add group. And here I'm going to say and the PO line type equals print book one time or the PO line type equals physical one time. And we'll change this to or. Okay, so what am I saying now? This is a nice one. It was sent more than 365 days ago. I'm using the new relative date index, and it's still sent, which is a problem. And it's either purchase order line type print book one time or purchase order line physical one time. So anything here, I should get together with my colleagues and see what's going on, because I shouldn't have a physical one time or a print book one time sent more than 365 days ago, still in status sent. The vendor is either not going to send it to me or needs to be reminded. And we have 20 examples. And now I don't need to run a job. I don't need to do anything. I've got this, and I can every Sunday morning, whatever, or Monday morning, excuse me, Monday or Friday morning, days I work, if I am in a different country, and evaluate what's going on here. But all of these should be handled, because we will all agree if it was sent that long ago and still in status sent, it's not waiting for invoice, it's not closed, it's not claimed, etc. And I could do more and see maybe they are in claim. Okay, so that covers the purchase order line searches and a specific use case for it. Now we're going to move on to something I would say is the most useful workflow of this. So let's say something we're really solving here. But let me stop one more time, because now we finished that section. Let me see if there's anything in the chat. Nothing in the chat. Okay, and I'll assume everyone is still with me. And let's move on. So what are we going to do now? Share the screen. I'm going to do exactly what is in the blog, which I'm about to show here. Opened it in advance just to save time here. So what I'm going to do now is make a set of new resources, being resources. Wait, somebody asked a question in the chat about the renewals. Let me just see. Hold on a minute. Can you show renewals still sent as an example? Renewals still sent as an example. Okay, let's revisit where we were. So you want renewals. So a renewal, that would be in serials, first of all. So let me come in here. Instead of print book one time, well, let's do it like this. I'll come like this again. Let's get rid of this whole group. Okay. So renewals would be serious. Now, I don't know if I have renewals here, but if I do, I don't, because I don't have serials in my example. Oh, nope, I don't have serials in my example here. What I will say here, I'll get rid of this, well, they wouldn't be in status sent if they were renewals. Let's say workflow. Okay, I can do it like this. Recurring renewal. Or let's do it like this. Let's start over. We're going to say sent date is within the last, but you can do whatever you'd like. I'm going to say, excuse me, 730. I think that's 2 years. right? 365 and 365, is that 730? It's hard to work nowadays without a calculator. And let's say I'm going to add a group and say the workflow step, REN, is either recurring renewal or waiting for manual renewal. Okay. Sent whenever, and you can change it instead of 730. I'm just putting 730 here because I want to have a large group. This is one of my demo environments where I have various types of information. Let's see if I have renewals. I don't have anything in renewal. But that's how we would do it. I don't have anything here in renewal. Just for the fun, this is everything that's been sent. But I would do it the same way. Let's say I want all of them in a workflow waiting for invoice, and then you can change it on your own to the renewal. So if I wanted all of those which are sent within that and waiting for renewal, I would simply say, and workflow step equals waiting for renewal. And this is where you would choose whatever you wanted, which is something about the renewal. I'm saying waiting for invoice. So I've got everything now which was sent within a certain time frame using a relative date index, and everything waiting for invoice, and we can see they're all waiting for invoice. Again, you would do the same thing, and instead of choosing waiting for invoice, you would choose the workflow as renewal. If that did not answer your question, feel free to send in more. I'm looking at the chat and I don't see anything. Or if it did answer your question, you can also say yes. Okay, and apparently it did. So I don't see any other questions. So let's move on now. I'm going to close my February release. And now, as we stated, so I'm going to be using this blog here. We're going to create a new resources list. It used to be called a new books list. I don't know if people still call it a new books list, but it was very popular at one time. I think it still is. To make a new books list that users can click on a link and see everything added in the last 30 days. And it can be done various methods. For example, I can say, and something else. So, and it doesn't even have to use the relative date index. I could do this, for example, everything with a word from subject computer science. But our goal here is the relative date index. So you have the blog just like you have the PowerPoint, and everything I'm showing is in this PowerPoint. I just don't like to bore people showing PowerPoints, but everything is in here plus more, much more in depth even. And same with the blog. I'm not going to go step by step through the blog, but you're welcome to do that yourself. And here we go. So let's say I want now all new bibliographic records added in the last month with a certain topic. So let's do a search here. I'll start with an all title search because we're not saying I only want physical, I only want electronic, I want anything. And let's say I want the MMS creation date. Oh, let me show some. There's so much to show, but I want to make sure we have time. What's interesting here is I could also say on the physical items, for example, expected receiving date is within the next. So now I'm doing the future. Until now, we've done dates in the past, is within the last 7 days, is within the last week, 2 weeks, etc. Now I'm saying my expected receiving date is within the past or is within the next 30 days. Or, okay, I'll keep it this, but I want to do something else too. Okay, so these all have an expected receiving date in the next 30 days. An example of doing something in the future. I'm just going to open up one of these just to see. close that. Yes, okay. I know there were more direct ways for me to get to that item, but we'll do it this way anyway because I'm already in. Oop, what happened there? Okay. And sure enough, the expected receiving date does meet our query. It is within the next 30 days. It's January 24th. Today's January 15th. So I can also search by the future. A use case here, and I want to get to our topic on hand with the Lincoln Primo, but another nice one would be, what if I had an expected receiving date in the past 30 days and the receiving date is null, is empty. So this means they were supposed to arrive in the past 30 days and they didn't. This one here, for example, I'm doing edit item. It doesn't have an arrival date, but it does have an expected receiving date. I could also do even more. I could say the expected receiving date is not empty. So I would have everything. There's various ways to do this. So let's take a look at anything. This one here. It should have been received on February in the past, December 31st, and it was never received. It doesn't have a receiving date. So that's another way, another nice use case. But let's now, without interruption, get to our case. So now we're going to say advanced search all titles. And I want everything created, let's say, in the last 30 days. MMS creation date equals or is within the last. Here also you can do the next, is within the next. Now that would be interesting. The creation date is in the future. Prophecy. So here, let's say, is within the last 30 days. And maybe I want everything. Let's do a nested search here, where word from subject LC. I don't think people say word from anymore in their indexes. Is either going to be Taiwan or Taipei. So now I have every title created in the last 30 days dealing with Taipei or Taiwan. Let's even expand that. I'm going to say, or I know I need to change my Boolean operator. We'll do that in a moment. Title is Taiwan. Or the title, I could say keywords actually is Taiwan or Taipei. Let's keep it clean. Okay, and these, of course, we're going to make or. So now I'm saying everything created in the last 30 days and has Taiwan or Taipei in the LC subject or the title. And I have 13 records. Wonderful. So now, and we have different ones here. We have different types of inventory and we have no inventory. So I will save this now as a set. And I'll call this resources created in the last, let's say, new resources about Taiwan or Taipei. Last 30 days. I don't like parentheses in some of these things. Okay, sometimes the parentheses, you start doing APIs and things, they cause issues. All right, so now I have a set, a logical set called New Resources About Taiwan or Taipei in the last 30 days. Right now, there are 13 records. And now, if I were to create something new, let's do a search here. And let's search anywhere. Let's search, considering what we're searching, I'm going to search the National Taiwan Taipei University Library. And I'm going to say, I want about Taipei in the title, and I want year of publication. Let's see if we got anything with year of publication 2025. Or let's say 1971. Search. If not, we'll make it simple. Now, if I catalog something here, let's take this one here. Import. So this is going to answer our query because I have word from title Taipei, and it's created in the last 30 days. And while I'm here, I'm going to add inventory. And then I'm going to add an item. I'm going to make here a subfield H map. Bear with me. Just because I like to keep my environment here clean and I don't have an LC call number. And then I'm going to say add inventory, add item. Make my material type map or a globe. Now I've got some cartographic material. Okay. Release. Release. Now if we go to our set, admin, manage sets. Previously, we had 13 records in our set. Content. Miraculously, we have 14 now. All right, now let's say in Primo, here I am in Primo, and I want somebody to have a link up here. Like right now, I've got this placeholder link, which we're going to change. Somebody will click a link and automatically get there. I'm not getting there now because we want to do it ourselves. So that's what we want to do now. We want to make a new resources list be automatically available to the end user searching in Primo. Here we go. So we need to make a logical title levels collection. Not an electronic collection, a title level collection. Title level collections are handled at resources, manage inventory, manage collections. These are title level collections. So let's say now we're going to say add top level collection because we're going to add a new one now. We'll give it a title and a name. Let's say I'm going to call it new. Actually, let me call it whatever I called the set. Although you don't have to do that, but it's a logical name. It'll keep everything logical for me. And it is what it is. It is new resources about Taiwan or Taipei in the last 30 days. And name, I'll call it the same thing there. This, by the way, this bibliographic record information, that's what creates a bibliographic record connected to the set. Library, I'll give it main library. Logical collection. I don't want to make this a session on how to use logical collections. Our goal is to see how we can use that set that has the relative data index. Thumbnail upload. Let's give it a nice thumbnail. I'm going to get a little picture here. Taiwan, Taipei. and images. Just to put anything simple in there. And it needs to be less than 100K. This is a nice one. Okay, so that's going to be my thumbnail. I'm just going to save that anywhere. Okay. That's also what's going to appear to the end user in Primo, we're going to see. So I'm going to add that as my thumbnail. Oh, it's 138K. I'm going to have to make it a little smaller. We'll find out in a minute. Oh, maybe it'll let me. Save and continue. No, it's too big. Okay, no big deal. I'm just going to resize this. What happened to my resize? Sorry about this, everybody. Image. We don't want to spend too long on this, but okay, hold on. Resize, okay. And let's make that be okay, so it's going down to 76.8 kilobytes. That's good. We'll make it even bigger. 84.7. All right, that's enough. And I'll put that in downloads, and I'm just going to overwrite that. Okay. Now it's 93. Now we're going to be good. Okay, thumbnail. Save and continue. Now we need to link this to that logical collection that we just created using the, oh, there's one other thing I want to do. Using the set that we just made that has the relative date index. So it's a signed title set. Now I'm going to go get that relative date index set. Here it is. So I'm linking now that set to the collection, add set titles. Now there's a job that runs every night that takes everything in the set and puts it in the collection, or I can just click right here, update collection from set. That ran the job, and you can see it already did it. All of these that are in the set are now here. Now, you might be saying, how come it says 15? We had 14. The reason there's 15 is because now there really is 15, because when we created the set, we also created that bibliographic record. There's a bibliographic record of the set. So that makes the 15. So let's save this. Now, anytime a new record is created about Taiwan or Taipei, and it's going to go to the last 30 days, if a record is deleted, it's going to get out of there. I'm going to move my set to the top. Here's the one we just made. I'm going to drag it up to the top. I could have said to put it on the top before when we created the set, but I'm going to do it here. So it's going to automatically get updated. Every night a job runs that updates everything in the set to everything in the title level collection. I'm just going to move all these up. And then we'll continue. So now we want to make this available to the end user in Primo. Now it already is available to the end user in Primo, but we want to make a direct link to it. Now it takes 15 minutes maximum to get into Primo, but we're going to hope for the best. So if someone comes here now to collection discovery, let me just pretend I'm at the beginning. I'm going to do a library search. So if somebody comes here to collection discovery, I'm in Primo V NDE. What I'm showing, if you haven't yet moved to NDE, you can also use in the other version of Primo V, which is just Primo V, not the Primo V NDE. And I'm going to click Collection Discovery. So now I see all of my different collections. Now I don't see my collection yet here, but I will soon. These are some other Taiwan ones. This is one from Igloo 2025 with someone from Taiwan. This is another one with someone from Taiwan. This is one I made yesterday in the last 7 days. Let me just refresh this and see if we get it. And if not, that's fine because we have a method of dealing with this. So I'm going to search within these collections for my collection. Hold on. That's my collection. Still not there. Okay, so we're going to use a different one just so we can show how it works. Okay, that is bringing me the actual records, but I don't want the records. I want the collection. All right, so we're going to do it with this one here, last 7 days, because it takes up to 15 minutes for new things to appear in Primo, so I don't have it yet. But this is the one called last 7 days. I'm going to click that, and this is giving me all records created in the last 7 days. And I want to make now a link for the end users to be able to click and automatically add this one, automatically access this one. Again, it's built the same way mine is built, the one we built together. Here it is called last 7 days. And you can see if we go into there that it uses a set. You can see here it's update from set. You can see here it's the logical collection, and you can see here it's using records created in the last 7 days. So if I was to go to that set, manage sets, it's doing those, everything created in the last 7 days. Here it is, records created in the last 7 days. It's a logical set. And if we look at that, we'll know that the query, here's the query, is using MMS creation date is within the last 30 days, right here. So it's the same principle as ours. MMS creation date in the last 30 days. So I want an end user to automatically be able to access this last 7 days. You know what I'm going to do just for the fun? I'm going to open that in another browser just to see if the caching will let me see the new set. We don't see the one we just made. We're going to use the last 7 days. Okay, we don't. So now we're going to make a link so someone will automatically be able to go here, click the last 7 days by having a link somewhere. So how does it work? If I click last 7 days, this is the link that goes to the specific collection right up on top here. I'm going to copy it. I'll copy it without the language link. That way it'll take the language link from wherever. Now, if I open this in any browser, it'll automatically go here. Let's do a test. Let's go into my Chrome. If I paste that same one there, it will go right to that collection and give me automatically records created in the last 7 days. Beautiful. So if I want now my end user to automatically have access to this, within Alma, I'm going to say Discovery, Configure Views. I'm going to edit my view to have that link. That instead of this placeholder that I have here, I'm going to have something else. I'm going to get rid of that placeholder, in fact. So this is my view, and I will edit my view. And in my links menu, these are my links menu. I'm going to get rid of that one there, that placeholder that I had, because we're going to create a brand new one. Now I should no longer have that. I'm going to refresh. It's gone. You see it's gone there. And now I'm going to add my own link, and I can add it wherever I want. So I'm going to say add link. I'm in the links menu of my view, add link. I'll give it a code. I'll call it new last 7 days. The URL, I'm just going to put in that URL that we got a moment ago. Now, what do I want to call it? Records created in the last 7 days. Or let's call it new resources. Last 7 days. Save. Collection discovery. Maybe ours is already there. No. Okay. Now let's refresh. Okay, there it is. So a user comes in, and you can see the link here. Let's say the user's in the middle of searching. User is searching the library catalog for whatever. Does a search, and then they say, I want to see what's new in the library. And this link, of course, can go anywhere. It doesn't even have to go in Primo. You can put it on your library homepage or anywhere you want. If somebody clicks this link, new resources last 7 days, they go to the set, and we know that behind the scenes, this set is using the new relative date index, bringing all of the records that were created in the last 7 days, and it will dynamically, automatically be updated. Okay, I'm going to stop here because we have 2 minutes left, and let's see if there's any other questions or comments. So I will go back here. I seem to have lost the WebEx. Okay, here we are. Stop sharing. All right. Any questions or comments from anybody? Is everybody still with me? Someone give a sign that you're still with me. Quiet crowd today. Okay, or got one yes. Another yes. 3 yeses. Okay, so at least 3 people are with us. I'm sure many more are. And I'm going to go to the participants for a moment. Okay, 31 participants. So someone asked, what's the benefit? Let's take a look at the chat here. Tamar, feel free to join in if you have anything you want to add. What's the benefit of showing that individual call when you have a collection tab? If the question is, what's the benefit? Let me share again. Of having this link here when the user could just as easily come to collection discovery and access, because first of all, I might not even put the collection discovery here. Right now, my collection discovery is hidden, and clicking here allows the user to go directly to one specific collection rather than needing to go to collection discovery, scroll through here and see it. Maybe I want all of those created in 2024. I have a different set here for records created in 2024, but the user would need to go collection discovery, scroll down and find it. A link up on top here goes directly to one specific collection and automatically shows the results. I hope that answered the question, if I understood the question correctly. And will the user see a delivered collection if they clicked on your Impressionist collection? Oh, yes, definitely. If the user, am I still sharing? I will share again. For sure, if the user had clicked instead of on the ones for 2024, if the user went to collection discovery and clicked on Impressionist and portrait paintings, they're going to see the records that are in Impressionist and important paintings. This has nothing to do with the records created in the last 7 days or the last 30 days. Okay, so that brings us to one more. How can you make collection discovery show in Primo? Okay, let's show. That's not really part of our thing, but why not? We're always here to have a good time. Someone says, how can I make collection discovery show in Primo? If you don't see this collection discovery in your Primo, it's likely because if you come into discovery, configure views, and you go into that specific view, I'm editing my specific view, and you go to the links menu, this collection discovery, if you don't see it, that means it's probably deactivated here. Either deactivated or way on the bottom, causing a user to need to go in to not see only these that are here, but see others that are hidden. So if you're not seeing it, move it up to the top and make it enabled. That's at the links menu when you configure the view. Okay, let's stop here. We're 2 minutes over. And I thank you everybody for joining. Tamar, is there anything you want to add? Sorry, I didn't give you more time to speak. Is there anything you want to say?
Thank you, Yoel, for the great presentation. I think we reviewed some very good examples of how the relative dates can be utilized. Of course, anyone can bring more ideas, and I encourage you to write a blog if you have something specifically that you would like to share or you think that others might enjoy from. I think it was a great session. Thank you, Yoel.
Thank you. Okay, so this will be posted to YouTube. We'll send out a message that it's valuable. And we'll see you next month for our next session. Have a nice day, everybody. Bye-bye.